Hello, Form 4 Chapter 6, Book 2, Video number 5. Okay, and this is the first time we prepare the experiment to making the salts ourselves 自己做盐 Okay, the first time mean the most important 第一次就是那么的重要 Okay, so to prepare the sodium nitrate salts, or what I mean by sodium nitrate salt? Potassium, sodium, ammonium salts. Okay, you must using the method called neutralization. 一定用 neutralization. So to prepare the sodium nitrate salts through the reaction between what? Who can supply you the nitrate? Nitric acid. Who can supply you the sodium? Sodium hydroxide. So prepare acid and alkaline, having the process called neutralization with the method called titrations. We're going to neutralize the acid, neutralize the alkalis, and finally you get the salts. But how is the process in detail? 它的过程到底是怎样的呢? So this one you have to follow me lah. You just try to understand only. 你明白就可以了. Okay? It's a good video. Totally good video. 最好就是这个 video. If you understand this video, others 后面其他的 they will be simple thing 呢，他们就会变成小事情。Okay? I start now. 现在开始了。So I prepare some sodium hydroxide 25 ml 1 mole per cubic meter of the molarities. And I add some phenolphthalein indicator inside. Remember, phenolphthalein indicator inside alkaline it will be pink color. 它是粉红色的。Okay, so now prepare another one called nitric acid 1 mole per cubic meter. Using the burette, I'm going to add the nitric acid slowly, drop by drop, until the alkaline become neutral. So now I start my experiment. 我开始实验了。Okay, I will just want to make my alkaline become neutral. Now just follow me. So for the first time, drop that mean testing only 啦。我只是自己做 testing only, and the result is not care 啦。它的成绩不要理它。Okay, So I start my first time for the titrations. I start the titration from the burette reading 5. After the neutralizations, the final reading will be 29.9. That means in the first time, I add 24.9 cubic cm of the acid to neutralize the alkaline. Second time, 第二次用了多少呢? From 5 become 30.1. For the second time, 25.1. 第二次 25.1. And the third time, I repeat the experiment for the third times, and the final reading, the final volume of the acid I add will be 25. So 1, 2, 3, 3 times 3次. Okay, finally I add them together over 3 用来除3 or another meanings. From the 3 times, how can I neutralize the sodium hydroxide? 我将给 sodium hydroxide 变成 neutral 呢? Simple. I use 25 cubic cm of acid to neutralize the sodium hydroxide. Or why I need this, or why this 25 is so important? 它为什么这样重要呢? Okay. So the activity is repeated without the use of the phenolphthalein indicator, using the average volume of the acid obtained. 什么意思呢? You know, understand 对不对? So for the first 1, 2, 3 times, when I neutralize the alkaline, I add phenolphthalein indicator, and after this, the average will be 25 cubic cm. So for me, I know 25 cubic cm can neutralize the sodium hydroxide. Okay, so when I really making my salt, 当我真正要做盐的时候啊 for the fourth time, 第四次 when I really want to making the salt, I don't add any phenolphthalein indicator. 我不再加指标水了 So I repeat the activity without the use of the phenolphthalein indicator, but using the average volume of the acid obtained. So copy this sentence on the sentence number 8 in your notes. 把它抄在你的 notes 的第8句那边。Okay, something very important that you must know. 一个你必须明白的东西，必须知道的东西。So repeat the neutralization without the use of the phenolphthalein indicator, but using the average volume of the acid. 不过用你平均刚才得到的25 cubic cm. So this is a final reading 呢，最后的读数25 cm. Okay, but the reason is here. Why? 为什么真正做盐的时候不要加 phenolphthalein indicator? 什么原因呢？到底为了什么事情呢？ Okay, 来 start. 看啊 So when I prepare these experiments, I'm going to neutralize the sodium hydroxide by using the nitric acid. Or when I really making my salts, I don't add any phenolphthalein indicator. So in the note, you just cancel the phenolphthalein indicator. But I using the final average volume 25 cubic cms. 我就用刚才3次我得到的平均25 cubic cm. Or another meaning, I know if I add 25 cubic cm and I don't add indicator, I still can neutralize my alkaline. Okay, but the problem is here. Why don't you using the indicator? 为什么不要用指标水呢？听好啊，我先讲华语。If you add a phenolphthalein indicator inside your neutralization, the indicator, the chemical substance in the indicator, going to contaminate your salts. 它会污染你的盐。They will make your salt become not pure. 它会给你的盐呢不够纯正，掺到东西。So who want the salt that's not pure? 谁要这种不纯正的盐呢 ？So we don't add phenolphthalein indicator because phenolphthalein indicator going to contaminate the salt. 会污染我们的盐。这就是你考试的答案。So after I add 25 cubic cm of the nitric acid into the sodium hydroxide become neutral and become the salt solution called sodium nitrate plus water, 对不对 So now I'm having the sodium nitrate solution after the evaporation, after the neutralization. But the problem is here, how to get the salts from the solution? 怎样从 sodium nitrate solution 里面把它的盐呢拿出来呢 Okay? So now the salt is dissolved in the water. 它的盐溶解在水里面，怎样把它的盐拿出来呢 Okay, simple. Remove the water. If you remove all the water, you're going to get the salts inside the dish, 对不对 But remember, when you want to remove the water, don't make your water dry. 不要给你的水干掉。So some students, or most of you 啦，90% 的人 when you want to get your sodium nitrate crystal, 你要拿到你的盐的水晶 you just heating the salt solution until the salt solution become dry, 直到它干掉，对不对 And now you thought this must be your sodium nitrate crystal. You are totally wrong. 你是完全错的。So never heat your salt solution until it dry. 永远不要把你的盐水烧到干掉。You know why? 又是答案来的 Simple. Okay, when the sodium nitrate solution becomes dry, the temperature will be too high. When the temperature is too high, sodium nitrate going to decompose, sodium 跟 nitrate 就会解散。When the sodium nitrate decompose, sodium react together with oxygen, becomes sodium oxide. Sodium nitrate is white color. When they decompose, become sodium oxide, still white color. Or another meaning that at the end, you get the salts called sodium oxide. 你拿到的盐叫 sodium oxide, not sodium nitrate. And you label sodium nitrate. And the whole school going to using the wrong salts for all the experiment. 整个学校用你的假盐做你的实验，整个学校就倒了，对不对 So never heat your salt solution until it dry. So just heat your salt solution until it becomes saturated. 只把你的盐水呢烧到饱和。But the problem is here. How you know the salt solution becomes saturated? 我们怎样知道它的盐水变成饱和呢 Okay, traditionally. 传统上 conventionally 传统上 heat your salt solution into 1/3 把你的盐水呢烧成1/3 Another meaning in Chinese 3碗水烧成1碗水 OK 它饱和不饱和不要理它 heat to 1/3 把它烧成1/3 and the salt solution going to become saturated 它就变成饱和的溶液了饱和的盐水了 OK Next, so after you having the saturated solution, 当你有饱和的溶液过后，饱和的盐水过后 ，what to do? Do nothing. Okay, when the sodium nitrate solution is hot, is all the salt dissolved into the solution, so you see nothing. You just can see the salt solution only lah. Okay, so now put the salt solution on the table, cool to room temperature, 给它的盐呢冷下来，给它的盐水呢冷下来。So that means when the saturated sodium nitrate is hot, you cannot see anything, it's just a solution. When it cool to room temperature slowly, you can see some of the crystal will become up from the solution. 盐的水晶呢，不知不觉当它在冷下来的时候呢，它在你的碗里面呢自己跑出来了。So you can see the crystal, 你就看到盐的水晶了的。Okay?But you still blur, 对不对？你还是蒙蒙的。Okay, what I can tell you, this is what you learn in Form 2 啦。When the temperature is high, sodium nitrate solubility is high. 当温度高的时候 ，sodium nitrate 的盐，它的溶解度也高，它全部溶掉，你看不到。 But when you cool to room temperature, when the temperature drop, the solubility of the salt become lower. 这种盐的溶解度就降低了，它比较难溶解在水里面了。So the crystal will be coming up from the solution. 它的水晶自己就跑出来了。Another meaning, the difference will be here. 它的差别就是这样。Let's say this is a sodium nitrate solution when hot. 很热的时候，它就是一杯液体。When you cool to room temperature, 当它冷下来的时候啊 ，the crystal will be coming out from the beaker. 它的 crystal 自己会跑出来的，明白吗 ？So now you're having some crystal together with the salt solution. 你有一些水晶，盐的水晶加一些液体啦。So how you going to get the salts? 你这样才能拿到这一堆盐呢？ And you want your salt faster, you know. You want the salts now. 你现在就要拿到你的盐了，不要等明天1个月过后了，对不对 ？So what to do next? 接下来必须怎么做呢 ？Prepare filter funnel and the filter paper. Okay. So add the mixture of the salt solution together with the crystal into the filter paper. Filter it out. 把它过滤出来。So your crystal will be here and the salt solution others. 其他的溶液呢就会漏出来，对不对 ？So now you get your salt crystal. 你的盐的水晶就拿出来了 ，but some of them will mix together with the water 啦。If you're going to waste it, 你可能会浪费一点点，不要管它。At least now you're having some crystal here. So what to do next? 接下来做什么呢 ？Rinse with some distilled water. 用一些蒸馏水呢冲几下。But why you have to rinse it with the distilled water? 为什么要用蒸馏水呢？这样子呢？冲几下呢 ？To wash away any impurities， 洗一下，洗掉它的灰尘，一大堆肮脏的东西。So rinse with the distilled water. But some students they will be worried 啦，他们会很紧张。If I rinse with the distilled water, the salt going to dissolve， 它的盐就会溶掉，对不对 ？Yeah. Normally, so we using the cool distilled water. 我们用冷水。冷水就比较难溶 ，and I don't ask you to play water， 我没有叫你玩水 ，you just simply rinse it like this， 随便这样冲几下，我没有叫你在那边一直注水给它，然后给它溶掉。Okay, so after you rinse with the distilled water, how to get the salts here？ 怎样拿到这堆盐呢 ？Put the salt on the filter paper， 把它放在干的 filter paper。So filter paper going to absorb the excess of water， 过滤纸就把多余的水呢吸收掉。Okay, so dry it with the filter paper. 用你的 filter paper 呢，给它干掉啦。If you feel the filter paper become totally wet， 如果你的 filter paper 完全变成湿了，对不对 ？Add another filter paper， 加另外一片。那 this is a filter paper. You add your salts here， 把你的盐呢放在这边。And now you add another pieces of filter paper and press between two pieces of filter paper。用2张 filter paper 呢压着，给它变成干掉。Okay, and just put on the table and on some fan， 开一些风扇，马上就干掉了的。So now you get your salt crystal， 你已经拿到你的盐了，叫 sodium nitrate。Put in the bottle and label。Okay, so these are the method for you to get the salt crystal， 拿到盐的水晶的方法。And the salt is called sodium nitrate。Okay. Now something very important to discuss， 有重要的东西呢要 discuss。Okay， 来。To get the sodium nitrate, how is the chemical equation? 它的化学反应是什么呢 ？Nitric acid react together with the sodium hydroxide to become sodium nitrate plus water， 就变成了 sodium nitrate plus water. Okay, and the ionic equation 它的化学反应，它的离子的反应是什么呢 ？Hydrogen react with the hydroxide to become water 啦 ，but this one is not important， 不是很重要。Okay, turn another page。这一面你的 notes。Okay, now all this there will be an answer when you go exam. Just now I just using my mouth， 刚才用嘴巴讲罢了。现在我们亲手写。When we prepare these experiments, okay, phenolphthalein indicator. When we prepare these experiments, phenolphthalein indicator is not used in the step number 8. 为什么不要加指标水呢？Why when you making the salt, you don't add the phenolphthalein indicator? 为什么不想加那个指标水呢 ？What is your aim？ 你的目标是什么呢 ？Okay. Otherwise, the indicator going to contaminate our salt. 它会污染我们的盐。So to prevent the crystal salts from being contaminated by the indicator， 不要给我们的盐的水晶被污染掉，被那个指标水污染掉。Okay. Next, Solution mixture is heated until saturated. When you're having your salt solution, you don't heat your salt solution until it becomes dry. 你没有烧到它干 but you just heated until saturated. 你只烧到饱和罢了。Why? To remove the excess of water from the sodium nitrate solution. 把它多余的水拿掉。Or to make the solution become more saturated, so the crystal will be more easier to be crystallized. So to make the solution more concentrated, or to obtain a saturated solution so that the solution is saturated enough to become crystal, to crystallize. 给你自己拿到更饱和的溶液，因为比溶液更饱和，它的水更容易蒸发掉，然后更容易拿到你的水晶呢。它一冷罢了，水晶自己跑出来的。OK， 没有烧到它干，烧到它1/3饱和罢了，等着它的水晶出来。Okay, next, the mixture is not heated to evaporate all the water, but only until 1/3 of the original volumes. 为什么不要把全部的水呢蒸发掉，反而只烧成1/3罢了 ？Why? Simple. Okay, if you heat the solution until it dries, when the salt becomes high temperature, it's going to decompose, or you're going to spoil your salt. 你会弄坏你的盐，最后你拿到别的盐弄坏。So to prevent the salt from decomposing, 不要给我们的盐呢解散掉，不要弄坏我们的盐。So 不可以烧到它干，烧到它饱和，等着它慢慢变水晶也无所谓。OK。Next, saturated solution is left to cool to room temperature. After you heat the solution, it becomes saturated. But the solution is left to cool to room temperature. 为什么给它冷下来呢 ？Okay, for the crystal to coming up 啦 to crystallize the salt, 给它变成水晶。So to enable the salt to crystallize, 给我们的水晶跑出来，给盐的水晶呢跑出来。Okay, 再来。Salt crystal are rinsed with a little or distilled water. 为什么用蒸馏水呢？冲你的盐的水晶呢 ？So why using the salt crystal? 为什么加盐的水？为什么要冲它呢 ？Okay, so to get rid of any contaminants, 为了洗掉任何的污染物啦。To get rid of any contaminants, 洗掉任何的污染物。Okay, so this is a process making the salt called sodium nitrate. The whole process is quite long, 对不对？有一点长了，对不起。But if you understand the first process, others 后面的呢，它就比较简单。They're just having some little bit different only 啦，它的差别就一点点罢了。So see you in the next title. Bye bye.